RYUC After Action Report Essential, Self-Healing Process and Possibility of a Gentle Phoenix. This recording is part of a series of recordings reporting on an exploration into our creativity, collectively entitled Releasing Your Unlimited Creativity After Action Report, abbreviated RYUC-AAR. This particular recording addresses the creativity essential to understand there is an inherent self-healing process available within us to create the health we need to continue our reason for incarnating and to have the possibility to experience a gentle, more playful, faster, and easier process to move into embracing and living our authentic self. Background on the creativity essentials and the RYUC material. The creativity essentials are concepts, principles, ideas, or whatever one may wish to call them, related to the source out of which our creativity arises. The journey of exploration into our creativity revealed the essentials needed to be addressed and understood in some way by an individual if one desired to move as deep as possible into their own creativity, creative ability, and creative power in this incarnation. Otherwise, one would be placing self-imposed limits on their creativity. Essentials are not building blocks or fundamental items used to create something. Rather, the essentials are about the stuff out of which the building blocks and foundational items arise. It is suggested you ponder, contemplate, do your own experiments with the creativity essentials such that you know their truth for yourself. Here I wish to bring to your attention we each have a very unique perspective of creation. What I say and write about on the topic of creativity with its relationship with the creative essence of creation are my comments based on my observation and experience from the journey of exploration into our creativity. If what I say resonates with you, use it. Otherwise, it's recommended you do your own contemplation, experiments, and exploration into the variety of topics discussed here to see which true for yourself. Our challenge. The issue and subsequent challenge we all face is when we grow up, we are not taught how to get in touch with the unique expression of our creative life energy and the presence within, and to learn to dance with the world. Rather, we are taught how to survive in the world and live in the world based upon the world in which we grow up and with what is relayed to us by our early caregivers. We do not learn to follow our unique path and perception. To become our unique truth, we eventually need to shed all that is not ours. We are faced with a transformation in some way in our life to return to our uniqueness and our authentic self. The challenge we face to address this problem is simply deciding how we choose or do not choose to deal with all the programming on our life experiences would keep our uniqueness and creativity held captive in a cage of our own making. Our problem is when we grow up, we are not taught how to get in touch with this energy and learn to dance with the world. Rather, we are taught how to survive in the world and live in the world based upon the world in which we grow up and with what is relayed to us by our early caregivers. We do not learn to follow our unique truth and perception. To become our unique truth, eventually we need to shed all that is not ours. We are faced with a transformation in some way in our life to return to our uniqueness and our authentic self. Dealing with our problem is simply deciding how we choose or do not choose to deal with all the programming on our life experiences would keep our uniqueness and creativity held in a cage of its own making. Possibility of a gentle phoenix. Choosing to step out of the programming of life that we have been led to live and to move to a life more in line with our authentic self in alignment with the desire of the creative essence of creation requires a change in the way we live our life. To align with the desire of the creative essence of creation requires a transformation or a life change of some type. The Phoenix experience has often been used to describe this transformation. The Phoenix experience appears to arise from the mythology of ancient Egypt, but very prevalent in Greek mythology. It has been described in a variety of similar ways. The phoenix is a bird that is consumed by the fire of its own nest and then reborn from its own ashes, representing the cycle of transformation, death, and rebirth. The term is now used metaphorically and refers to a profound personal transformation following intense hardship, trauma, or the destruction often characterized as a dark night of the soul followed by a rebirth. Stepping out of the programming of life and the hardships of life to align with the flow of our creative life energy within our being, arising from the desire of the creative essence of creation, has been characterized as requiring a phoneix experience, a transformation from who we have come to think we are to who we truly are. What became very clear in the journey of exploration into our creativity, the personal transformation of intense hardship, trauma, or destruction to align with what the creative essence of creation asks of us is not required. That is, the gentle phoneix is a faster, easier, gentler, and more playful way the experience can be had. The gentle phoneix arises from working with the inherent natural self-healing process available within the human psyche and its mind-body connection and the body wisdom, much like the way the body heals any injury. As with any injury, there may be some outside assistance to assist the process, but the healing comes from within and the body's natural healing abilities. So too using the natural self-healing process for our transformation. We need to surrender to the process, assisting only when necessary. To consciously work with this process requires a perspective on life that recognizes the existence of the desire of the creative essence of creation within us. Here it needs to be understood the transformation process is not about healing. It's about transforming one's life, and it is often interpreted as requiring some type of healing because all healing will ultimately require a change in lifestyle if the root issue is to be addressed. There may be an associated healing, but it's not about healing. It is about transforming one's life to a different way of being and moving, more in alignment with the desires of the creative essence of creation. The inherent natural self-healing powers available to us require a close attention to the body and the awareness of feeling, which gives rise to our intuition and body wisdom. In accessing the gentle phoneix requires allowing our internal guidance found within each individual to lead. The challenge is to access our unique internal guidance and understand how it works within the unique individual. Understanding how it works within is a solo journey unique to each individual. It's about nurturing the inherent self-healing process. In this regard, it is very much a feminine process of assisting and nurturing an unfoldment as opposed to the thrusting masculine aspect of mind to seek to jump in and act on what mind thinks needs to be done. A gentle phoneix requires awareness and observation. Analogously, the process is much like how one nurtures the fetus growing in the womb. The fetus will unfold naturally. We just need to be aware of what the process requires as it is unfolding. Observations in the journey of exploration into our creativity suggest if one could learn to follow the passion which arises from the flow of our creative life energy as it shifts in our life, we would have the doorway to the gentle phoneix. It would be a doorway to access the creative ability and creative power we need to create both that inner satisfaction with life, which never runs dry no matter what is happening externally in our life, and create a life worth living without a lot of hardship, trauma, and destruction. The biggest issue we face is distinguishing between the communications from the creative essence of creation from the thinking and thoughts in our own mind. The trick is simply to become aware of the passion which leads to creative play as it shifts in our life and be ready to move to follow it. It does need to be noted, the phoneix experience does lie on a spectrum. At one end is the traditional intense hardship, trauma, and destruction of one's life and the dark night of the soul. At the other end is a totally faster, easier, gentler, and more playful experience. The choice is really ours, and all it really depends upon is the willingness to step out of mind and follow the flow of the creative life energy giving rise to one's heartfelt passion. Dealing with the possibility of a gentle phoneix is again about our choice. Are we willing to work with what is arising within us? Do we deny what is arising and continue to follow what our human mind has come to believe and think it knows about the path forward? Here again, we need to remember the desire of the creative essence of creation flowing through us existed before our human mind developed. It provides the direction for our life, and we need to feel it and not think it. We need to remember our life is a new, original, never-before experienced creation, and our mind only knows the past. We must be open to feeling and where our energy is leading us. Information related to assisting in creating a gentle phoenix is discussed in other posted recordings and web files.